If you're tired of always falling short of your goals and feel like you're constantly giving up, then this video is for you, where I'm going to explain why this is happening and how you can overcome it. How are we? I'm Will Russ, personal trainer and former professional footballer. On a bit of a technicality really, I was a pro for 3 years, never made a first team appearance, but technically I was a professional footballer, so I'm going to keep on saying it. I'm here to simplify the complicated fitness industry for everyday people like you and me. Today I'm going to be explaining two things. Number one, why you keep face planting, metaphorically speaking, so why you keep failing. And then number two, how you can stop doing that. Before we begin, yes, today isn't necessarily just about fat loss, but a lot of people do struggle with that. So I'm going to promote my 7-day free fat loss crash course because I think it's one of the best things that's out there. It's a 90-second email from myself, personally written, for 7 days straight, that's going to allow you to help you accelerate your progress in terms of fat loss. Okay, so number one, why you keep metaphorically face planting, why you keep failing. This goes for anything, all right? Any of your goals, whether it's health and fitness related or outside of that, most of the time it's down to this thing. Now, I'll probably reference fat loss because that's my job. I help people lose fat, all right? So that's the reference point that I'm gonna use fairly consistently, but it can be extrapolated out into other areas. Right. Most of the time it's gonna be due to you not being realistic. You set your goal way too high. Now let me reframe that. You haven't set your goal too high. You've set your expectations of what it takes to get to that goal too low, probably, actually. So say, again, I'll use fat loss. If I want to lose 10 kilograms, someone who's being realistic might say, all right, that's going to take 15 weeks. Yeah? Someone who's not being realistic, aka you, because that's why you're watching this video, I imagine, because you keep failing. So someone who's not being realistic and keeps failing would probably say, oh, I'm going to lose that in 5 weeks. And then you'll probably say, well, so-and-so's done that. I know so-and-so that lost 10 kg in 5 weeks. All right, but they might be 1 in 100. They might be 1 in 1,000. All right? Just because someone won the lottery doesn't mean that I go spunk all my money that I make every month on lottery tickets, does it? Do you see how it starts to not make sense when you start thinking of it like that? So you set your expectations for your goals and what's required to actually get to that goal too low, and you think it's just going to be a walk in the park. So you go from a 0 to 100, all right? Again, in the health and fitness aspect, if you're trying to build muscle, you've never been to the gym before in your life, so you start trying to go 5 days a week. Yes, there's people out there that have done that and they've gone and they've stuck to it and they've been doing it for 5 years. All right, but you're not people. Or you might not be people, okay? You might prove me wrong and you might go and do it. But if you're watching this video, then you're probably not gonna do that, all right? Which is okay. If you've never gone to the gym consistently before, start with 2 gym sessions a week. And then once you do that for 2-3 months, maybe go to a 3rd gym session. If you wanna keep on doing that, after another 3 months where you're doing it every week consistently, go to 4 gym sessions. And then maybe after a year, you might be at the 5 gym session mark, but you've done it in a smart, realistic, sustainable approach, okay? Like I said a similar example with the fat loss. If you're going from 0 to 100, so you've never been on a diet before, or your diets have always stopped short, but you want to go and straight into your maintenance calories is 2,500, so you're like, oh, I'm going to eat 1,000 calories so I'll lose this weight instantly. You do it for a day, and then the next day you're ordering Domino's straight away. What's the point in that? Go from 0 to 100. Why don't we go to 30? Yeah? Why don't you say, actually, I burn about 2,500 calories. Let me eat 2,000 calories a day. See how I get on for 8 weeks. All right, you know what? That was pretty good, actually. Maybe my fat loss has started to slow down a little bit because I've lost a little bit of weight now. All right, let me go 1,800 calories instead. All right, that's actually worked. My fat loss is back up and I'm actually making more progress than I was in the first 8 weeks. Now it's been 16 weeks. So you're 4 months down the line and you're probably at about 50 rather than 100. And then you can start slowly ramping it up if you need to, but you might not even need to at that point, okay? Same with your activity. They're the 3 things I like to talk about. Being active, losing fat, / nutrition, and then lifting weights in the gym. If you're being active, yeah, if you've rarely gone over 4,000 steps per day as an average, why do you think you're going to do 12,000 every day? What makes you think you're going to do that? Going from 0 to 100 again. How about if you do 4,000 usually, let's start with 7. Yeah? Let's go 7,000. All right, you know what, that wasn't too bad. I did that for 10 weeks, 12 weeks. That wasn't too bad. All right, let's push up towards 9,000, 10,000. All right, I've managed to do that for 3 months. All right, let's go 12,000. All right, you know what, I can probably stick at this for the rest of my life. That's the kind of approach that you need to be having. Take it in stages. Don't go from 0 to 100 and think that's going to do the trick, because that's what you've been doing and that's why you're watching this video. And I'll reiterate it. I want you to have big goals. I've got big goals in myself in terms of health and fitness related, in terms of business related, in terms of what I want to be doing when I'm 50 or before I'm 50. I've got big goals, but I'm not blindsided, or I haven't fooled myself into thinking that it's not going to require a certain level of effort, all right? So whatever your goal is, just match it up with appropriate amounts of effort, all right? So if me trying to get to the Olympics, yeah, say that was my goal, I'm trying to get to the whatever 2 Olympics times is, yeah, then I better put the appropriate amount of work in. If I said to you, you know what, yeah, I'm going to go to not this Olympics, the next one, and I'm going to be a sprinter, and then you said to me, oh, well, what's your plan? What do you plan on doing? Oh, I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to I'll just make it. What? You see how stupid it starts sounding? So when I say to you so when you go, I want to lose 20 kilos by the end of the year. All right, sound like, what are you going to do then? I'm not really going to change anything. I'm just going to lose 20 kilos, isn't it? Come on, mate, it sounds stupid. Let's not kid ourselves here. All right, you sound daft. So set your goals big, but then also if you've got a big goal, you need to have big expectations of the amount of work that's required to reach said goal. Last point I'll go over, you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be consistently good, all right? Talking 8 out of 10 average. There's going to be days, or there's going to be times throughout the day, or days in the week, weeks in the month, months in the year, that you cannot be arsed, yeah? If that's tracking your calories, if that's getting your step count in, if that's going and doing your gym session, yeah? If it's work related or whatever other goals you've got, there's going to be times where you cannot be arsed. I'm here on a Sunday afternoon. Weather's all right outside, could be sat in the garden getting a tan on. I enjoy making the videos, but would I rather be doing that? Probably. But guess what? I've got goals and I've got business goals that I'm trying to strive towards, and this is part of my journey. So I'm in here doing the work. If you're trying to lose weight and you think, oh, you know what? I can't be arsed tracking calories today, and you do that all the time, then guess what? You're not going to get there, all right? You're not going to get to your body weight goal. But you don't need to be perfect. There's some days that I have sacked off filming videos, all right? So I'm not perfect. I'm not coming every single time. But I tell you what, on the days that I did mess up, I didn't mess up the next day. I'll tell you that for free. So if I didn't film this stuff today, I would have been in on Monday filming it. I can tell you that, all right? So if you don't track your calories for one meal, then guess what? The next meal, you better track your calories. If you don't track your calories for one day, then guess what? The next day, you better track your calories, all right? Don't fail twice. You need to be consistently good. You don't need to be perfect. Like I mentioned at the start, I'm a personal trainer, so fat loss is a bit more of my niche, as well as building muscle, getting stronger, becoming more active. But if you do want help with losing weight, sign up to my 7-day free fat loss crash course. Like I said, why wouldn't you sign up? It's the next best thing, bar hiring me as a coach. Loads of my clients have used the same principles that I teach in that 7-day course to get to the weight that they're happy with, and they've never looked, felt, or been happy with themselves, all right? So if you want a bit of that, get onto the Fat Loss Crash course and sign up. My Instagram's down below. Follow me on Instagram, post on there every day. YouTube videos, I post one every week, same time, same day. So subscribe, you'll get notified, click that bell. I think that's how it works anyways. I'm a coach. If you've done the 7-day Fat Loss Crash course because you've watched one of my earlier videos, and you found that useful, but you want something a little bit more in depth and you feel like I might be able to help with that, then you can book in a call below to speak to me one-to-one. We might discuss your goals. We might talk about what you've been struggling with, talk about how I might be able to potentially help you with that. And if I can't, or I don't feel I'll be able to help you, I can at least try and push you in the right direction so that you can get the help that you need, okay? Lastly, always big shout out to Terra Gym, Southport. That's T-E-R-A Gym. They let me film in here. It's a great space, and I get it to myself as well, so it's sound. So it doesn't mean that I have to feel awkward as shit when someone walks through my video when I'm in a commercial gym. So I appreciate that. All right, bye for now.